I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Between our visitors and our home team. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Back.
On first down, Eaton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take down one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. Yeah. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. This is taken at the 15. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise...
And touchdown! A big play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, up and good.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, This is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And here comes the Texans now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. On 3rd down, Montgomery. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. He's going to field this at the 4. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
They'll run it now out of the gun. The numbers for him from a week ago. 21 carries for an even 100 yards.
And they've already clinched the playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, McClain. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 28. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now this one complete on the slant route. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Flush to his right. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Operating from the gun. McLean. And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
1st and goal. Forget running the football. Forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against type, doesn't it? When you think 1st and goal from the 1, you're thinking running play.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he will have a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, Montgomery, and that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
With that, he matches his receiving yards from a week ago. We still have more than a half of football to play. It's a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. McLean. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position. Now facing nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his kick is indeed good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all the problems either.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. 76 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on 1 finger. They've only given him the rock 1 time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, but the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Texans send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 10. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drives, exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. There he goes right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Throwing on first down. Montgomery. That's complete to White. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Oh, it springs free. Montgomery loses it. And this is picked up by the defense. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now the try here for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground again here. He'll have a first down past the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. Las Vegas sending out their punter now. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McLean. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Back to throw. McLean is complete to Martin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. They'll run it now out of the gun. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed in the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 4. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 4 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
To throw on third down, Montgomery. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Looking to throw on second down. McLean to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Yeah, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And caught by Henry. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And nobody in the stadium feels better than he does right now. Just a slew of touchdown passes. He's been spectacular.
And you and I both know this is a team game, one of the best team games that's out there. For right now.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Montgomery. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
He'll look to set up his blockers. 12 yards on the return that time. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, McClain. Going right side here, and that's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Looking to throw. McClain, wide open receiver, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, just like last play. On 1st and 10, McClain. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
And here now the offense heading back out there. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Complete. It's Henry. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Montgomery.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Is the game certainly not taking us there?
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense,
and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. He's got White here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
On 3rd down, Montgomery nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Operating from the gun, McClain. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. Looking to throw. Montgomery looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, Doug. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Back to throw. Montgomery. And the pressure gets to him again. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for our visitors, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the loss here is their 10th of the season. And it will be a disappointing finish to the regular season, no doubt. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.